Hey, Tony Gas is here. Now coming in with a couple more grown boy signs today. I have other sessions and stuff and appointments, so my videos get interrupted. But now one thing you got to realize is about the grown boy ego, and the grown boy ego that still stems from insecurity. But with that ego, and I remember having that ego. So when I talk about when I was dating my wife, like around 2 or 3 months, and I started being, insecure and trying to be controlling in my questioning of what she at, what she doing, what she got going on. And she was like, listen, we got to take a break. And when she stopped talking to me, I didn't go looking for her. I ain't checked for her. I was like, all right, fine, bump you then. You see? Now, the thing was it was ego. Grown boys have a lot of ego to where it's a competition. You're trying to win. You're trying to break the woman down. So what happens is women having a larger emotional sense. So the part of the woman's brain that feels emotions is larger in a woman than in a man. That's why you see the men do the things men do. It's like, and it seems heartless. Even with what we do in battle, in competition, with the things that men do, it just could seem very callous, very heartless. And that's just due to the brain, the makeup of who we are as a gender. And so with women, you sense emotions greater. And that's why you are the gender that carries the baby and feeds the baby from your body, from your breast. You feed the baby. And when that baby is born, you are the one. You're getting up every 2 hours because you're breastfeeding. So the man might not even be there, for one, if y'all broke up. And then two, if he is there, he may not necessarily be getting up because you have the milk. So just the emotional sense of a woman is so great that men know that if men have a poker face, and I talk about this in my wife and I's book, A Woman's Influence. I think one of the chapters is called The Poker Face, if I'm not mistaken. But men know that if we play tough, that a woman typically is going to circle back around and say, hey, how are you? Or hey, what's going on? Or hey, we need to talk. Or hey, we need to discuss us. So most grown boys are going to have the poker face. And the woman has to understand and realize that's how this gets flipped on you. So when you say, well, look, we done, or we need to go our separate ways because I'm not going to tolerate that, a lot of times as a woman, you're expecting to hear the man say, well, no, I'm sorry. Like, let me explain. Let me articulate like what happened and why I said that and why that happened the way that it happened. Okay, so here's what happened. So this is what you have to understand about me and just where I am right now in my life. That's what you expecting. You expecting this whole dissertation so you could give him a doctorate of love. And he just like, okay, all right, fine. All right, bye. And he may think about you every second of the day. He may go dive into his other weak woman. The woman who just let him come and go, dog her out, do what he want to do. He'll go forget about you in her loins. He just go dive in her. And that's how he, stops thinking about you, or that's what gives him the strength not to call you. And yeah, he may go treat her better, because he had to cut her off and get distance from her, give her a silent treatment, or ghost her to come build with you. So then while he building with you, she over there on ice. And she broken, she hurting, she trying to heal. So then when he runs you off, then he just go right back to her. Listen, I done did all this. This is how I know how it worked, okay? I done did all this. I done been through all this. You hear me? Listen to me now. And so here you have that ego. So now you start to think, man, am I crazy? Am I tripping? Like, man, did I make the right decision? Like, did I do right? Because he ain't even called me. He said, all right, forget it. Or all right, fine. Or that's how you feel. Okay, bye. He ain't even called me. Like, he ain't even check in. Like, what's going on? And so you starting to question yourself. That's the grown boy ego. And so that's what you have to realize. Now, on the other side of this, inside of this ego now, this grown boy, he's going to be inconsistent. And I mentioned this on the 5 signs, I think, to where he's going to tell you, hey, I'm going to call you at 9. And then you don't hear from him at 9. You might be up to 2 o'clock in the morning. You start thinking like, man, did he get in a wreck? Did something go on? Like, what's going on? And you might be wanting to be tough, so you don't want to call him, but he ain't calling you. And literally, he trying you to see if you're going to call him, if you're going to be worried. He trying to see if he pressed the right button. If he done pressed the button that send you into worry, into panic, where you get frantic. And no, you should not call him if he said he going to call you. You wait the normal amount of time, and then, okay, 48 hours, 72 hours, it's like, okay, did he ghost? And then you go to looking into it and seeing, is he on the missing persons report? You know, checking, you know, then you call him or text him. And at that point, it's just like, I'm just doing this to make sure you living, to make sure you're okay. He answered that phone, got to go. We done. Because he just tried you. That was a test to see if he could flip it on you. Because every man know it's on us to initiate contact. Because the man, if you want to be the head, that means you got to lead. If you want to lead, that means you got to lead in love. That means the man leads in the courting. The man leads in the dating, meaning the man initiates the phone calls, the text messages. The man initiates the dates. The man initiates. He's not afraid to initiate sex. He's not afraid to ask you to give him some, to get on your back. So he shouldn't be afraid to call you first or to text you first. He shouldn't be afraid to set up y'all next date. He shouldn't be afraid to do that because he ain't afraid to ask you to get on your back. But see, a lot of men, grown boys, they don't understand that. They say, well, no, I'm going to ask for that because we supposed to do that. That's what we supposed to do. We grown. You know, if I ain't getting it for her, how you want me to be faithful to her? She ain't giving me none. That's a lie. That's a lie. And so the other mistake that a lot of women make with a grown boy is you sleep with him too soon. Once you sleep with this man and he ain't had to put in no real work, he has not had to really work for you, it ain't even been 6 months, and you get on your back, he put you in a box. He put you in a box. At that point right there, the race over. That point right there, he don't feel the need to change for you. He don't feel, at that point right there, you have no value to him. Because you gave your body to him. And see, a lot of women, you'll think like, okay, well, what's that? You know, that's just sleeping with him. I wanted that, or I did that for me, or everybody doing that. That's just what adults do. You know, like, how you gonna judge me off of that? Because he was in the bed with me too, so he did it too, not just me. No, that don't change how a grown boy gonna perceive you. And then now you got a grown boy who get to say he had you. Now you got a grown boy who get to tell everybody, hey, I hit that. Hey, man, she ain't like that, man. Secretly, boy, she a H.O. Boy, you hear me? Hey, she try to act all this and that, bro. She ain't even that, man. Man, that was so easy. But, hey, I ain't have to work hard. And I was already in there. So that would let me know right then she ain't my wife. That would let me know right then I'm gonna dog her out. That would let me know right then. Like, I talk to her, do whatever I want to do with her because she just gave her body away. Like, I can have AIDS. She don't know that. I can have genital warts. She don't know that. Like, I could be the nastiest thing in the world. She just gave me her body. Like, man, she don't respect herself. She don't love herself. So now, what you did, because, you know, you wanted to, or you felt the need to, or you felt like, you know, if I don't give it to him, somebody else gonna, whatever your reasoning is, he don't care. Grown boy is not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. So that's why you got to keep your legs closed and stay off your back to give you time to assess the situation, to really read this man, to see who you dealing with. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is y'all don't work out, but now he done had your body. Now you done added another body to your list. So if you ever have to talk about that, or if you ever want to bring that up, you ever want to discuss that with the man you dealing with, now you know, well, yeah, I done, you know, been with 12 men. And then, you know, and let's say he done been with 3 women. So now you literally picturing, you and him, both of y'all picturing 12 different shafts. And he having nightmares. He trying to sleep and he just getting slapped. He got 12 different things hitting him. While he sleep, he wake up. Because y'all just had that conversation of, the conversation came up like, so how many people have you been with? And y'all were just casually talking and you felt like it was a safe zone. And then you throw out your number, he throw out his number, he might even be lying. You might be lying, but your number still might be up there. And it's because you giving your body to grown boys who don't deserve you. And then the relationship don't work out. But yet you operating from this fear of, well, if I don't do it, somebody else gonna do it. That's not true. That ain't always true. And you can't worry about what somebody else gonna do. You protecting your life. You're protecting your name. It don't matter what the next woman do with her body. That's on her. If he go get her and get her on her back, you gonna find out about that. So that's his loss. But you get to walk away unscathed. You get to walk away, hey, I still got me. I still got my name. Like, you ain't get me on my back. You can't say you did nothing with me. So all you could say is, hey, I witnessed her presence. I was graced and blessed enough to sit in her presence and to date her. But you can't say you even came close to this thing. You ain't sniffed this here. And so now you still got your name. Don't give your body away. That's why I tell y'all, stay off your back. Forget the excuses. Forget the reasoning. Stay off your back. Forget the fear. Stay off your back. Forget what he gonna go do with somebody else. That's his loss, not yours. Stay off your back. And so this is the thing. The grown boy make all this work together. He inconsistent. He's condescending. He's rude. He's distant. He's all of these things. He overly questioning you. He make you feel dumb. He is manipulative. He all of these things to break you down. So you get to the place where you feel like, I'm gonna just give him my body. I'm gonna do this, or I'm just finna, I'm gonna chase him, I'm gonna beg him, and you doing it. You ain't saying this out your mouth, but that's what your action's saying. So now he like, see what I thought she was. She ain't got no value. Sorry woman, gold digger, desperate for love, desperate for marriage. She'll do anything. She'll play any kind of role to get a ring. You ain't finna get me. Finna use you. You finna be on the roster. That's how he doing you. That's how he look at you. Listen, you got to do better. You gotta protect you. You can't expect a man to come in your life and to just protect you off rip. You don't know him. He don't know you. You can't expect him to give you the benefit of the doubt. This man is not going to look at your situation. He's not going to look at you when you get off your back, and you done caught all of him in you. He's not finna look at you and say, oh, well, she just, it's a real classy woman, and that's a real woman to like go ahead and just make love to me and just be real and be authentic, and that's what she wanted to do. So, she did that instead of trying to play a role. Listen to the relationship coaches like Tony Gasman, like she just went ahead and just gave me all of her, and I respect that. She a real one for that. He's not giving you the benefit of the doubt. He's sitting up there calculating. Okay, how long did it take? Okay, 3 weeks. Okay, how many weeks in a year? Okay, 52 divided by 3. Okay, all right. 13, 14. He doing the math. 16. She sleep with 16 men a year. I knew she was loose. Oh my goodness. 16 men a year. I can't believe it. It don't matter if I sleep with 50 women a year. I'm a man. That's what man get to do. She a woman, man. Women ain't supposed to be like that, man. She sleep with 16 men a year. He literally could be the only man you done slept with in the last 5 years. He's not considering that. All he going off of your actions that you showed him. He ain't trying to give you no benefit of the doubt. So now he running your name through the mud. Everybody who know you that he meet or that he know, and when you leave him for being a grown boy, everybody he talked to, they say, hey, what happened to such and such, man? The girl you was at, oh man, she would lose. And that thing hit me one day. Like I woke up and I realized, like, man, I hit in the first month. That means she sleep with 12 men a year. If I hit in one month, do the math. Like you do the math. You see what I'm saying? That's 12 men in a year. I say, man, she old slaughterhouse, bro. That ain't my wife. Like, I'm not finna marry that, man. So it's like, bro, I just let her go, man. Nah, he spread that as your reputation. That's your reputation. He spread that. Now, people who he done pointed you out to, people who you done met, who know him, now they looking at you like, hey, look, hey, you know that girl over there? Hey, let me show you right here on Instagram. Don't she look classy? Look like she got a lot going on, right? Look like got everything together. Get what? Homeboy hit in 1 month. Just like that. Low value woman. Oh, what they be talking about low value woman? Here you go, right here. See that, man? You can't trust these women, man. These women try to fake and front and try to act all classy and all that, man. I'm telling you, man, these women do not need to be trusted, man. These women lose. And so this what he's saying. This the narrative he running with. So now that's how he gonna treat you. He gonna talk down to you. He gonna demean you. You dumb. He the mastermind. He the mastermind. He the genius. He all knowing and you's a dummy. You weak. You lost. You insecure. You his play toy. You his footstool. And that's how this grown boy wants you. That's what his ego is telling him. And a lot of y'all confuse this grown boy for a grown man. Because you take the insecurity that you are feeling, that he's making you feel, you take the decisions that you've made from a place of weakness, vulnerability, insecurity, ignorance, wherever you acted from when you got on your back too soon with him. You take these things, these actions, these feelings, and you let it make you feel less than, and you start trying to live up to his standard. You start trying to be who he trying to make you be. And you forget who you are and you forget your worth. And that's what you got to understand. So listen to me now. I just added a couple more signs to what I added, okay? You're going to have the ego. I don't know if we talked about that one. And you're going to have his inconsistency, which we probably talked about that one. And this what you have to recognize. You got to pay attention to this. And when you see this, you say, okay, here, grown boy. You also got to accept the mistakes you've made. You got on your back too fast, that's on you. Ain't got nothing to do with him. That's on you. Should have did better. Do better next time. Get back up, brush yourself off, get back in the fight. Do better next time in the next situation. And listen, when you go through this with a grown boy, when a grown boy has used his ego against you to break you down, do not let that keep you down. Do not go into the next situation angry, with disdain and distrust and looking at this man with a side eye. Do not do that. Go into the next situation happy, healthy, whole. The man should not be able to tell that you ever dealt with a grown boy. You should feel like the most joyous, peaceful, happy woman on the face of this earth. But you know who you are. You know what you stand for. So when the question comes up and he tries to make a move and he tries to sleep with you, you're able to say, hey, we ain't going there now. We ain't going there. We're not on that level. Like, yeah, we kiki and we doing all this and we all out and about and all that with these masks on and we having a great time bowling, skating, theme park, all that breathing through this mask and, you know, yeah, we might even share a little kiss through the mask, but we not there. We ain't going there. What? Wow. So he like, how you could be so peaceful, so happy, so joyous, smiling and laughing and having such a great time and not have guards up but then have the strength to say no. Like, wow. Because typically he used to women who that friendly, being able to just get them on their back. And then women who say no, they been cold, ice cold the whole time because they done been hurt, they done been played. So they just rude and nasty in general. So when they say no, it makes sense. He's not used to a woman that got true confidence. He ain't used to a woman that really know who she is. And that's how my wife was. It's like she was so nice and friendly that I'm thinking like, man, she must be easy. She's so friendly. And then when I tried to go all the way, that's when she turned from Finding Nemo to Megalodon. I was like, wow. I was blown. I'm like, just two different people. You were so nice and friendly and kikiing and just having a good old time. And I tried to get me some, and she done raised up and kicked me out of her place. I'm like, whoa. I was blown. But see, that was pure and genuine strength. That was real self-worth, not just fronting. That was real self-worth. And so I realized that, and I was able to compare that to every woman, which had been over by 100 women that by that time that I hadn't went out with, talked to, dated, or, went further with. Over 100 women that I had comparison to. And I'm like, it ain't never been a woman that, on your level, as far as taking care of herself and presenting herself, that got the equal amount of self-love and self-respect. So that was like, whoa. And at that age, my wife was 19 when I met her. She had actually just turned 19. I met her in like October. And her birthday, the end of September. And so she was fresh 19, probably a month. 19 and a month. And here she is with this kind of know who she is. And yes, she had learned from being, mistreated or cheated on or whatever in a relationship before me. But I couldn't tell that. Like, I didn't sense any rudeness. She wasn't condescending. She wasn't, like all standoffish or like, yeah, right. Yeah. Where you at? What you doing? It was none of that. She didn't bring any of that baggage. And so I would blow, because typically if a woman was that free flowing and just happy go lucky, that typically she was easy. And then the ones who were not easy, it was, they weren't that attractive either. And they just was strong. They were strong. You were strong. You were smart. And they was like that. And so it was like, whoa, you got all this strength and you don't even look at where all this strength coming from? You ought to be happy somebody trying to talk to you. This how I'm thinking, as a 21-year-old man. And so I'm like, girl, you done come over here with these Teen Wolf legs and then you want to have standards? This is the women, some of the women who had turned me down as far as going all the way before my wife. And I'm like, I'm not finna wait for this, because you don't even take all the way good care of yourself. So the grown boy and me, I'm gone. And then when I met my wife, I'm like, hey, come on now. I'm trying to go with the same flow. Hey, I like the, come on, got to get me some. Grown boy. She said, I'm like, whoa. But then I realized had everything else to match it. So it was like, okay, take care of yourself. You love yourself all the way around. And this is who you are. Okay, I can respect that. And so that's what I mean by when I talk to you about the 3 B's. Brain, brand, and body. And I'll do a separate video on the 3 B's, because I always mention it. I don't know if I got a video called the 3 B's. But that's what I'm talking about when I talk to you about that. I'm talking about you working on you to present yourself to the world the best you could be in that moment. You might not be all the way where you want to go, but you actively working on every aspect of your life. And so you the best you could be that day. And then you're going to get better tomorrow. You're going to be better next month. You're going to be better next year. But when a person meets you, you at your best because you actively working on you. And then you know who you are. So a grown boy, his games and his ego and what he trying to do, they ain't got nothing to do with you because you know who you are. You know what your standards are. You know you're not finna chase him. You know you're not finna beg him. You know you're not finna get on your back for him. You know who you are. So all the tactics that he done learned from these red pill men and these MGTOW men and all these men who, talking about high value men and low value women and all this right here, all this stuff he done learned from this grown boy captains and tribe, it ain't gonna work on you because you know who you are. You have your bylaws, your policies and procedures, your do's and don'ts, your deal breakers. That's already listed in your mind and written upon the tables of your heart. So you ain't with the games. And that's what you got to get to, and that's what you got to understand. All right. So, hey, God bless you. Had the opportunity today to shoot some more videos. I done changed my little situation here in my coaching schedule, so it give me a little more time. But God bless you, and we'll be in touch. This ought to be the last video you see today. And Lord willing, I get to shoot something for tomorrow. God bless you. We'll talk some. And y'all know what now? These right here, these topics and stuff, they coming from real life. They coming from real women that I'm getting messages from or coaching sessions from. And so this real stuff that what I'm speaking to, real stuff, real life that thousands and thousands of people dealing with. So understand that right there. God bless you. We'll talk soon.